Rightio legends, Chaos Chronicles. So we have found some choppery gold actually. So this is something that I thought had been deleted from the internet. You can see shorts from it. You can see little bits and bobs on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatnot. But we have the whole video. So before we get into it, legends, if you haven't already, please jump down there, shoot me a subscription. That'd be absolutely appreciated. And if you jump up there and smash that bell icon, you'll never miss any of my clips again. Alrighty-o. So let's get into it. Mark, Brandon, Chopper Reed, Andrew Denton.
All I have in this world is my laws, my word, and I don't break them for good.
People have very strong reactions to my next guest. They either want to cheer or they want to puke. One of the most controversial figures in Australian public life, for him violence has been at various times a way of life, a tool of the trade, or just a marketing angle. Should he be celebrated? Should he be condemned out of hand, or is neither appropriate? Please welcome Mark Chopper Reed. Welcome, Mark.
Let me know down in the comment section if you guys have seen this one. Obviously, it's getting harder and harder and harder to find chopper videos that nobody has seen. But let me know down in the comment section if you have seen it.
Now, who is Mark Reed and who is Chopper, and which one am I talking to tonight?
You're talking to whoever you want to be talking to. Who do you want to be talking to?
I want to talk to Mark Reed, but what's the difference?
Talk to Mark Reed. Ask for Mark Reed and you talk to Mark Reed.
What's the difference?
I don't know. You tell me. What is the difference?
I can't tell you. I'm not you.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. I mean, one's a nickname that I was given when I was in grade 2. Come from a Yaki Doodle cartoon, Hanna-Barbera, Yaki Doodle, Chopper and Yaki, Little Duck.
So I imagine this next coming line that most of you guys may have seen that on social media or may have seen the original.
A big dog. That's where it come from, a cartoon. The fact that I went on to do other things that the nickname sort of blended in with it was, where would I be today if they had a nickname me Fluffy, you know?
More to the point, where would the nickname Fluffy be today?
Where would the nickname Fluffy be, yeah.
You claim that your myth, the Chopper story, is really exaggerated, not just by the Chopper film, which you collaborated on, but also by the many books that you've written. So which part of your myth would you like to retract?
Well, I don't want to retract anything. I wrote books, right? Now, how many times in those books have I got to tell you that in certain areas I'm pulling your leg or let you be the judge? And I've clearly stated this, unless you can't read. You know, it's there. They can either believe it or disbelieve it. I couldn't give a shit. I mean, the books are $14.95. It's not the Holy Bible.
You said you had a maggot of...
You know, he's got a good point there, and he was always very candid and open about, you know, whether or not he's telling the truth or not.
The life. Tell us about your childhood. What was that like?
If you want to hear about my childhood, I'll tell you about it, but I don't dwell on it, nor do I use it as a sort of an excuse for how I turned up. I didn't have a very nice childhood. There were several attempts to do away with me when I was a little kid.
By who?
Well, by none of your business. That's why.
But why would someone want to do away with a kid?
What I was trying to say is, you know, like I spent a little while in an orphanage because, you know, I'm not going to come on TV and slag off my relatives.
No, I'm not asking you, but why would someone want to do away with a kid?
When I was born, my mother said that I was not a gift from God. Things went downhill from there.
You were afraid of your mum, weren't you?
Yeah.
Why?
My mother was a devout Seventh-day Adventist who placed religion above anything else.
Which meant what for you?
Well, I had no mother. She was devoted to her church, and that was it. And
you never really ever hear Chopper Reed say anything nice about his mother, actually. Let me know, chat, in the comment section if you guys have heard him say something nice.
You're either with her or against her.
And what about your dad?
Well, my dad was a different kettle of fish altogether. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
I like my dad.
Did your dad love your mum?
Yeah, of course he loved my mum very much.
Even though your mum was
My
caught up
dad
in religion?
became a Seventh-day Adventist to marry my mother.
When you were 15, you were put into a mental institution.
Yeah, I've been certified mentally insane 3 times. Once at the age of 15, once at the age of 19, and once at the age of 23.
And what's wrong with you? Why would people do that?
Well, my mother put me into a mental hospital when I was 15 because I left the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and she felt that if I could be deemed mentally insane, then I would be forgiven in the eyes of God and go to heaven. So my old man got me out of hospital on that one.
How long were you in that first time?
Enough to give me 60 serves of shock treatment in 6 months.
Now, on what grounds were you given shock treatment?
Because that's what they gave. Everyone got wheeled in for a goodly dose of the electricity.
But on what?
And that is true. That is like, I know people think that is not the case, but it wasn't that long ago that they actually stopped the shock treatment, and people would be very surprised at how regularly that was used.
Grounds were you?
There was no grounds.
On what grounds were you committed, though? You can't be committed for being a Seventh-day Adventist. Or
No, I was
not.
committed. I was committed by a Seventh-day Adventist psychiatrist, a Seventh-day Adventist mother, and I went to hospital. That was it.
Your father didn't have a say in this?
My father got me out.
Was there more to it than the fact that you were there because of your mother's wishes? This amount of treatment, was there something in you that needed to be suppressed?
Well, then you better go and subpoena the psychiatrist involved and question him, because they didn't tell me about it. They didn't tell me what was going on. I'm 15 years old.
What about when you were 19 and 23?
19, yeah, they probably had a reason to certify me then.
Which was?
I don't know, but they would have had a good reason. There'd be too many reasons to think of. I was right off my head then.
Yeah.
23, well, the ears had just come off. What else could they do? That was, you know.
You were a Standover Man for many years.
Did you guys know that Chopper Read was only 23 when he cut his ears off? I bet you that's news to a lot of you guys' ears, pun intended.
What is it like to physically dominate another human being?
Well, now this is where we have. I never actually Standover Man. I don't know what you think of what a Standover Man was. This is what we did. We simply went along and we negotiated with people. We said, rightio, you're earning 60 grand a night selling heroin, right? I'd like about 20, please. That's not too much to ask. $20,000. So why are we even having this conversation? You know, and they want to argue with you. Well, that's when it starts getting insulting. I mean, the blokes, you know, and they're not going to give you 20 grand. You know, and so that's how it all started. We didn't go along and just, you know, pick on people.
Sure, there was a reason. There was a reason to stand over, but then you have to deliver with some sort of threat, don't you? Otherwise, they're not going to hand over $20,000 for nothing.
Well, you got to deliver a couple of times in order to get the other people to fall into line. You just can't go along with an empty record. You got to have something to say. Well, you know, something. You know,
and you can only do that if you can deliver on the threat. So I ask again, what is it like to physically dominate another human being?
That's almost got other, like, things connected to it, I believe. Like asking someone a question like that. Wow.
Didn't think of it in that way. They had a matter of, what, minutes or probably half an hour to come up with the money. That's all it was to it. I mean, you're selling heroin. I want 20 grand. What's the problem?
And if they don't come up with it, what happens?
Bugger you. And that's it. I mean...
you just walk off?
Well, I walk off, yes. I certainly walk off.
It's not much of a Standover Man, is it?
You don't. You stay where you are. I walk off.
Yeah.
And I didn't think of it in that light. We didn't run around picking on poor individuals that couldn't defend themselves. These blokes had guns. They had bodyguards. They had mates carrying guns. They used to go and get their cars armour glassed and all this sort of stuff. They'd have Uzi machine guns, $1,200 for Uzi machine gun, and then couldn't figure out how to buy the ammunition. It was ridiculous.
Is there pleasure to be had from another man's fear?
No, I didn't take any pleasure in it. I mean, we didn't do this.
He's asking randomly weird questions like, to dominate another man and pleasure. Like, I'd be losing my shit right now.
All the time. This is only once and every now and again. A nice one jumps up. You got to, and so we'd have a go at him. I mean, I spent 23 years in jail. We used to we used to do the same thing to guys in jail coming in for a big, lot of money.
So is that Chopper or is that Mark Reed that does that?
Well, again, there is no difference. One's a nickname.
Chopper, though.
Unless I'm missing, I'm missing the philosophical fine argument.
Okay, well, Chopper is a man who, through the media, is now associated.
Oh yes. Chopper and me live a life totally different. He's God knows what he's up to. But people's idea about who and what Chopper is.
He was actually a very smart. Like, his marketing was absolutely genius. I always say it, that if Chopper Reed was alive today in the social media world that we live in, he would absolutely, kill it.
I can't even fathom that.
You spent almost half your adult life in prison. How many women made approaches to you for relationships while you were in prison?
Oh, stacks, but you wouldn't wear them on a brooch. I mean, WC Phil said that he'd never be a member of any club that'd have him, and that was my attitude too. I mean, you're in jail, you got no.
That's a good saying. I'd never be a member of a club that would have me.
Years, and you're getting written to by these. Don't be ridiculous, Anyone mad enough to might write me a letter, I'm going to take them home for tea, but pigs, they can't wait.
You were worried about them? Jesus. Why would someone fall in love with Mark Chopper Reed?
Yeah. I don't want to meet him. Frightening fella, no.
So after 22 years...
No, look, I'm married, it's different. My wife's out the back now, she has a baby in 3 months' time. I mean, but I didn't meet her in jail. I've known her for 30 years. I met her in a fish and chip shop.
You married Mary Ann Hodge when you were in Risdon prison.
She wrote to me.
Yeah.
She wrote to me.
Yeah.
And she wrote to me and I married her.
That was in Tasmania when Chopper was at Risdon prison, and she was a pretty straight edge person, and Chopper jumped in there and married and had a child with her and everything.
Well, hang on. She wrote to you, but you married her. Why would you marry her?
Oh well, you do these things.
There's no other reason?
Look, I've got a lovely son, Charlie, and I love my son. I love Margaret. She's my first love, and I've been with her most of my life, virtually, and now she's going to have a baby. It was just something that happened back there in Tasmania, and...
Well, this is what you told ABC Radio last year.
Yeah, I know, and I shouldn't talk to radio.
Well, let's hear it.
Late at night when I've had a few to drink.
Yeah, let's hear it.
My marriage to Mary Ann was a sham. I married her in Risdon prison in order to get out of jail on legal advice from God bless him.
The mouth from the south.
The mouth from the south. He said, get married to one of the local hillbillies and get yourself out of here. And that's exactly what I did.
All right. Well, when my son grows up, and I hope he doesn't ever see this, but the truth was, I just had to play the cards that were dealt to me.
Did Mary Ann know that was the plan, that you were just marrying her to get
It wasn't really my plan. It was just sort of like I knew I had to either... I couldn't beat him, so I had to somehow join him.
Did she think that you loved her, though?
Yes, I'm sure she thought I loved her.
When was the last time you hurt someone deliberately?
The last time I hurt someone deliberately? It'll be years ago now. Going back to 1991, I pleaded not guilty to that.
That was shooting Sam Collins.
Big smirk on his face.
Sydney Michael Collins.
Sydney Collins, in the stomach. And what was that time like?
I beg your pardon?
What was that like?
Well, I pleaded not guilty to that.
Yeah. You pleaded not guilty, but what was it like when it happened?
Well, I pleaded not guilty to it, so therefore I can't tell you what it was like when it happened because I pleaded not guilty to it, and I said I didn't do it in the Supreme Court, and if I was to come out and say I did it, it's perjury, I get 15 years. Even though I said I did it 15 years later, it doesn't matter.
Do you have fear in your life? Have you ever been really afraid?
I got stabbed in the heart once with a screwdriver, right in here, by a Yugoslav guy called Hello Buddy. That's all we ever called him, Hello Buddy, because he couldn't speak in English. He used to walk past you and say, Hello Buddy. And I'd say, hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. And one day I ignored him, and he just backed up and stabbed me straight through the heart with a screwdriver. And I looked down like that, and I walked up the screws really gently. I felt a bit of sort of with me breathing, and they took me over to the medical area, and they brought the ambulance over. The ambulance wouldn't take me because they couldn't lie me down because the screwdriver was out the back. They said, if you lie him, it's through his heart. They thought it was through my heart. I thought it was through my heart. So we can't lie him down. We can't take him sitting up. For some reason, they couldn't take me sitting. So I went to the hospital in a yellow cab with the Governor Quinn, head of security. And I forget the other prison officer's name. He took me to the hospital, and they took me to the X-ray room. All these doctors are looking at me, figuring out, amazed. And this doctor come down. I think his name was Professor O'Brien. He was, I think he's dead now. He used to be the top microsurgeon in Australia. They named a microsurgery unit after him. And he come down. He just walked up and went like, pulled it straight out. And then later on, they put 3 stitches in it. Got a little scar right here. And this is what he reckons happened. There's the heart. There's the pumpers. There's the screwdriver. Pumping like that. What's the chances of that? And he said, well, if it was for your heart, you wouldn't be standing there. The fact that you got to hospital meant that there's only one way to get a screwdriver out. And then he told me, he said, well, you ever seen these blokes with axes in their heads? He says, how do you think they get pulled out? Do you think we operate them out? He said, you bring them in, there's the entire team stand around, get set, ready, go. Someone's got to pull the bloody axe out. And so yes, on that occasion, I was going off to hospital in the yellow cab with the screwdriver through my heart. I thought to myself, this is it.
We definitely live in different worlds. I've seen so few guys with axes in their heads, Chopper, but maybe I don't get out enough.
Well, I must say, even in my life, I've seen so few people with axes in their heads. I can't say I haven't seen one, because that would be a lie.
I've never seen one.
Yeah. You've led a violent, lawless life, and you can be ruthless, manipulative, cunning. We've seen that you're prepared to be immoral if it suits your ends. Are we missing something here? What about you as a good man?
I don't think there's any difference between what do you mean, a good man? What do you mean?
A good man.
Well, I'm not trying to be a good man. I just want to live my life now. What I did in the past, well, that was then. Now I'm doing other things, and I seem to be people in a roundabout way. I'm not saying you are, but people in a roundabout way keep asking me to apologise. And as I said to a Supreme Court judge once, if you're waiting for a heartfelt apology or a tearful rendition of Danny Boy, you're going to be a long time waiting, because I don't regret nothing I did. I don't regret my past. If you were in the same situation in that jail with me at that time, believe me, if you had a choice, you'd be standing right beside me.
And that's the absolute truth. Like, there's make no bones about it. Like, Pentridge Prison was absolutely Victoria's, Illinkay fields. So, they were the fields of death, so to speak. And people were getting taken out there on a regular.
Because at the end of the goal, it's called survival. You've got 2 choices, live or die, survive or don't survive, right? You get to the other end, and we'll figure out the rights and wrongs for it when you get to the other end.
I'm not trying to get you to apologise for your past. I'm trying to drive at who you are now. And the question is for everybody watching, do you deserve your place back in society? Can you be trusted? I'm going to show now an ad that you did last year for road safety.
Okay.
When I was in prison, I got slashed in the face. My ears cut off. I had a claw hammer put through my brain just here. Cutthroat razors. Here. 8.5-inch butcher's knife there. Ice pick there. Ice pick up the back there. If you drink and you drive, and you're unfortunate enough to hit somebody, you want to pray to God you don't ever go to prison.
You don't think that the stories you tell, the way you tell them, does quite the opposite of what you were suggesting in that ad? Doesn't it make crime scene a bit cool?
Do you want to know about the ad? Can I tell you about the ad?
Sure.
A bloke from Saatchi and Saatchi comes down, he's got a script of stuff he wants me to say. Well, you know, I don't know how these people get employed. No imagination at all. I said, you want a hard-hitting ad, do you? Right. So I just did it myself, right? And in one of them, I called myself. Otherwise you'll end up a murdering maggot just like me. I just went off my head just to give them the ad they wanted. I didn't get paid for it. It won a Golden Lion. If I had stuck to the script he wanted, it wouldn't have got nowhere. And the only one that come out of it getting bag's me. You know, I did him a favour. I mean, I said, what, you want a hard-hitting ad, do you? For not drink and not drive. Well, let's do a hard. It was so hard-hitting they banned it in Australia.
You tell kids, basically, said in your book, don't do what I've done. But you went on to write another 9 books, I think it was, 10 books, glorifying, exaggerating violence and crime. Why?
Because they sold well.
So if you'd stuffed up your own life, as you said you have, and you're away from what you were, you're no longer who this man was, why would you want to give back to society that way by encouraging young people in society to the glamour of crime and violence, however exaggerated it might be? Surely you could make a moral judgment at that point not to.
Yeah, I think you're overanalyzing things a bit too much. I mean,
seriously? You sold 300,000 copies of your first book. Don't tell me I'm overanalyzing.
No, well, I've sold a damn sight more than 300,000.
That's just your first book. That's a lot of people have read your books. A lot of people have got off on what you've written.
Yeah,
it's pretty simple.
Because a lot of people
but he always, like I said, always makes mention of that some of this is fiction, some of this is not. And, you know, it's a little bit different from what Chopper does and what I do, but it's still kind of the same thing. If you can use your set of life skills from a previous life to stop even one person from going into that life, why wouldn't you do it?
Like crime books that were written by people that had no bloody idea how to write a crime book.
But that's what makes your book surely that much more effective.
And I said, well, I'll write him a bloody crime book. And I wrote him a crime book. And that's what I did. And I didn't overanalyse it. I just wrote him a crime book.
And you don't think that maybe there was a better way to pay society back than that?
I could have taken up the violin, but I wrote him a crime book.
Does it matter to you? Fame or infamy, does it matter?
It did when I was younger, but I've come to grips with my ego. Sort of, I think my ego is sort of half dead now, or damn near paralysed.
It wouldn't be, or else you wouldn't be on this show.
I said it's paralysed.
Yeah. Do you enjoy living the Chopper myth?
Well, I don't live it. I live in a little house in Collingwood. I drink in a pub around the corner.
To everyone else you live it, though. To everyone else
what is the myth? What is the myth?
It's the myth you've created in the books.
But what do they live the myth? What do you imagine I do during the course of my day?
It's what people view you as a killer, as a psychopath, as a wild man. That's the myth that you've created.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it?
What, enjoy what? What they think in their head?
Enjoy what you've created.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know whether I enjoy it. What's to enjoy?
Would you like to be accepted as a normal member of society?
I think everyone would eventually like to be accepted as a normal member of society. I wonder.
I always used to say, when people used to say that to me, like, no way, why would I want to be a part of that society? And yeah, I kind of think like that now, you know. It's good to be a member of society and, you know, be a member of my community activities and whatnot. It's good.
Times will ever happen because people are greatly taken up by my past and diagnosing it and psychoanalysing every bloody aspect of it and My past is starting to bore me. That's why I don't write no more sort of like crime books. I'm trying to get away from them. I'm not sorry I wrote them, but I'm finding the whole thing a bit boring. Now everyone's dropping off the twig left, right and centre. I could write a ripping good yarn now about it all. But I just couldn't be bothered, you know. I mean, hand me time. I'm just like, boring.
So, what should people think about your chopper? Are you Chopper or are you Mark Reed?
Oh, Mark Reed. Mark Reed, Chopper Reed. I mean, they call me Chopper since, what, grade 3? What am I, uninvent me nickname? I don't know.
I'm not talking about the nickname, talking about the myth.
All right, the myth. The myth is there. You're a very difficult man to talk to. You got me. I don't know.
Why don't you just write the book that sets it straight?
I will, ultimately, in the end. I will. The very, very last book. Because that is the story. The story, the real story, is about how a bloke in jail and 2 newspaper reporters got together and did this.
So if you guys didn't know, it was the same people that made the Underbelly series that wrote Chopper's book.
You know.
I look forward to the book. Mark Reed, thanks for coming in.
Good on you.
Well, there you go, legends. A little gold nugget right there. I was so rapt when I come across that and thought, yep, we're going to make that straight into a video. Let me know in the comment section if you guys have seen this. And, let's go. Well, there you go, legends. Chopper Reed at his absolute finest. And it's absolutely awesome when these gold nuggets get found. And I say it once and I say it again. Chopper Reed was an absolute marketing genius. And, was absolute comedy genius as well. And absolutely, I'll say it again, that if Chopper Reed lived in 2026, that he would be unstoppable in the social media world. And, he would just excel. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. And thank you guys so much. If you guys haven't already subscribed, please jump down there, shoot me a subscription. And if you jump up there and smash that bell icon, you'll never miss any of my clips again. I've been the Chaos Chronicles. You've been absolutely awesome. And as always, don't do drugs and crime and you won't end up in prison. We out.